What's going on, everyone, and welcome back. This is Crunch Sweets, signing in, logging on, pressing start on yet another Honkai Impact 3rd video. When we left off, we found that perception betrayed us, as if that was a surprise to anyone. And today, we're carrying on. Now, last we left off, we were actually in the body of a shadow, so hopefully if we target right now. We should be able to carry on from there. Will we? What will it do? I don't know. There we go. Okay. But this would have been better if we were faster. But Toma? Not Toma. Dead. Breathing has ceased. Let's quickly go over the situation here. I don't know where I came from, but I must have shaped in the shadow, and granted, a body that can move. Not only that, I also speak the human language. This ability seems fairly unique among my shadows, although it doesn't make me superior. After all, according to the rules here, humans are only a link in the food chain. As it spoke, the living things in the shadows glanced at the human corpses laying beside it. Was I born from the fear these people experienced upon facing their own deaths? Was it what gave me the gift of speaking their tongue? That can't be right. It's not much different from the births of other shadows. Whatever. After all, the why isn't so important. Whatever the case. The fact is now I have a body, so I should do something with it. The least I can do is learn how to use my faculties. Oh. Farewell. I see. Humans are very different from us in the way of our thinking, which makes me a natural enemy of theirs. It's only logical the next step is to feed on their bursting fear. Oh, another meal. That is not a meal, sir, that is a shoe! Hopefully I won't stuff myself. This one's strange. He's neither screaming nor running away. He's even fearless? I should get a bit closer. Even the godsend cannot contain the sheer scale of these shadows. It's all over now. The ending is upon us. Like Ninghai and Bayu, Lonquist's fate is also sealed. No. Now that it's come to this, am I going to blame others for it? I was overly confident. That's what led to our situation becoming so desperate. There's no arguing that this is my sin. What a weird man. Someone so sad and fragile should have been consumed by other shadows long ago. Despite that, he still finds the time to babble to himself. I'll study him a bit longer. The living thing in the shadows was curious. Probably because it had just come to life. Just as I went to disappear into the darkness, so that it could observe the strange man a bit closely, a gentle breeze brushed by. Phew. Finally found you. What? Are you feeling sorry for yourself for screwing things up? It's rare to see you like this, young master Baiju. It's almost cute. She gave me quite a fright. Where did this woman come from? So, Baiji is his name. Not Baiju, Baiju is Genshin. Oh my god, I'm sorry! Miss Ajita, I didn't think you would come personally. I thought you'd use that artifact of yours, the one that can communicate with people from afar, to harangue me. What kind of person do you think I am? Today is the day for the shadows to be bound. It will determine the fate of the entire world. When an event of this magnitude is upon us, even I would refrain from staying at home and playing with my collection. Besides, if we were to publish an article with the shadow binding to me, you and I would be listed as co-authors. I boast a lot about my nimble hands, but sadly, it appears I'm not cut out for conducting experiments. So, what happened to the Zodiac Astral Ring? Upon hearing the snappy name, the man named Baiji shook his head frowning. It couldn't bear the pressure and split into several fragments. Oh, says yeah. And we all have like different oh, so what was it for all our astral rings come together? Oh my. I suppose it's only theoretically feasible to integrate the shadows authorities into a single point. But one thing happened just as you predicted. The astral ring isn't a mundane gadget. Even though it's split apart, its power is still there. I'm currently using a counterfeit to store that power. Oh. So, what are you gonna do next? Why didn't you vent about it first? You could call me frivolous, but I might be a good listener. No. All this happened because of my impulsivities. I alone should take responsibility. I knew you'd say that. In all of Lanku, you were the prime example of a man who was a slave to responsibility. Maybe I better answer your question first. Next, I plan to hand the fragments of the Zodiac Astral Ring to the right people. The biological affinity of the instrument might give us an opportunity to turn the tables. Oh. We're working on this contingency plan together. I don't think we can do anything about the law, but regarding the shoes, do you have any candidates in mind? Baiji nodded. I hope they can utilize their exceptional talents to discover or devise some method to suppress the shadow calamities. If you can't beat your enemies, you might as well learn their way. There's no shame in that. Apart from that, I'm afraid they've already figured out my whereabouts, so I must prepare myself for a consultation. Sounds like a lot of work. If that's the case, then I wish you good luck. One should not linger in a place where trouble is brewing. Even I have to make plans in advance. Wait a moment. Baiji approached Ajita and put a small object in her palm. The living thing in the shadow didn't quite catch what it was. Oh? Really? Does this mean I'm also one of the candidates? Sure. There's none more suited than them to bear the name Gadgets. Alright then, I'll take it. I know Lanku is too small for the grants of your vision. I only hope that you can help us to do the best of your abilities, as you have always done. You're too kind, my friend. The truth of falsehood can only be held by Gadgets. We are in a mutually beneficial partnership, where each of us can obtain something we want from the other. At least for the time being. What the heck are they talking about? Sounds like they're up to something. It seems to have something to do with shadows. I better listen carefully. Alright, it's time for you to carry on with your work and save Lanku. As for me, I find it more comfortable to curl up on my sofa. Goodbye, Miss Ajita. The woman's footsteps faded off into the distance. Just when the living thing in the shadows thought she had finally gone far enough. A small reminder, Savior. There's a little monster lurking in the shadows over there. It's been staring at you for quite a while now. Shit! A product of shadow.
やっぱり影を操る彼の力は私以上だ。うまくかわせなかったら一巻の終わりだ。もういいだろう。
I don't believe you can actually. I think that would have kept going until, so. Void. Yeah, what about it? A complete void. But it wasn't entirely empty. It was a fairly amazing experience. A sensation it had never had before. It kept flowing in, like a trickle, merging to a lake or sea and brimming out again. It was the same soul, but dressed in a brand new dark attire. Am I still alive? That was strange. I don't look the same, but I remember everything that happened a moment ago. As humans would put it, it's like a dream? However, even though I can recall what had happened, I don't think it's sufficient to prove that the shadow from before and my current being are one and the same. No, this is no good. I nearly got carried away pondering a question without an answer, which isn't helpful to my current predicament. Since I do have recollections of these events, I don't suppose there's anything wrong in assuming that I was killed by that man fairly recently. There you have it. Simple and straightforward. All that's left to do is act. But he missed a way around. I must be careful when making my grand escape. That's... Oh, hi, Lantern. I see. A burden forever. I suppose he was telling the truth, but this will do. She kill all these shadows herself? What is she? This should at least make things quieter and more or less. Baji, the astral ring you gave me is not a burden, and I shall prove it to you. She knows that dangerous man, as well as a thing called the astral ring. Is she one of the qualified candidates he mentioned? This is Lantern's path. If there's no end to these shadows, then so shall my slaughter be. Alright. The break is over. It's time for the next death match. Oh, I'm bleeding again. It's better not obscure my vision. Show's over for you. Letting go can be a beautiful experience. In a deep slumber, the mind can rid itself of the constraints of time and enjoy true freedom in a void resembling death. And so things continued in this way for an indefinite amount of time. And the shadow began to stir again. The sea never dries between the ebb and flow of the tide, just as the water begins to seep in, when the every last drop evaporates from the puddle. The new round of creation was near its completion in the gathering of darkness. You know what that means? Fish! Interesting. I'm sure of it now. At least my memories are carried on by shadows. From a more egotistic perspective, whenever my body disperses, the shadow will prepare a new one for me. But why? The living thing in the shadows couldn't help throw another glance at its surrounding peers, secretively hoping one of them could talk with it. Despite waiting some time, however, nothing happened. In the end, it came to a conclusion. Oh, special! I'm different from the other shadows. Only I can understand the human language. Only I can change bodies and retain my memories. Only I am capable of intelligent thought. This is interesting indeed. The living thing in the shadows pondered long on the fact that it could think. I don't know much about myself. Maybe there's a limit to my abilities to reincarnate. Best to refrain from dying on a daily basis just to be safe. This might even be a trick of the memory instead of a continuation of my soul. The next me who remembers me might have nothing to do with me at all. If that's the case, then I'm absolutely positive that you cannot die, not even once. However, the living thing in the shadow tapped into its perception, a magical faculty different from the five senses of humans, and started to assess its own situation. Then, for the first time since its birth, it felt happy and at ease. Wonderful! Intuitively, the deaths from earlier didn't make me feel tired or filled with pain. Instead, I'm filled with this strange filledness. I can feel something deep inside me connected to the land called my cube. And it seems to be growing. Yes! It's expanding every second! I can sense the titillating breeze of fear. Is this what it feels like to fly? Hello again, sir. Biting. It appears much weaker than before. It appears the colossal impact produced by the zodiac astral rings splitting to fully disperse. Some has been forced into my body. Is this the price I have to pay for being an unworthy welder? I suppose I deserve it. I alone am responsible for the tragedy on Amber Street today. I must bear the weight of that sin and atone for it for the rest of my life. Nevertheless, I'm sorry for dragging 6 of them into this, making them mortal sinners. Is he referring to the people of whom he gave the astral ring? We, the venerable Seven Shoes, shall purge the shadow calamities. The moment its third body was crushed, 2 epiphanies came rushing to them being in the shadows. Firstly, the man named Baiji wasn't entirely bereft of fear. Only the shadow projected by his fear was so colossal that it extended beyond its vision. Secondly, it had grasped the nature of its being. The whisper from its mysterious faculty only occurred upon collision with a shadow of that magnitude. I am the shadow. What is a shadow? When no one is watching, a shadow appears as if it doesn't exist in the world, growing only in silence. When it's large enough to be noticed, it has already become inseparable from everyone, to the point nobody is able to shake it off. There's no Taylor Swift out here. A shadow yearns for, manipulates, and harvests fear. And fear is the most hideous whip in the world, lashing all those who have succumbed to it. The people lost to shadow lack neither courage nor dignity, but fear can destroy those precious qualities like a sharp blade cutting through fine muslin. It bows its head of arrogant men and defiles pure hearts. It goes out saying that lowly commoners have no way to escape from its claws. even the most illustrious emperors cannot help but bow to it, descending into its pit of shameless minions. After all, everything contrives to remove justice and reason from a man who has been brought up to command others. Yes, this is the answer to the question. Shadows are fear, and fear is power. Have you finished writing your journal, Miss Ajita? Sorry to have kept you waiting. She turned around with a charming smile. Even though there was no reason to keep the words a secret, she still concealed the notes behind her with elegant figure. So, we finally have time to talk. Will of the Shadow. By talking, I assume you mean tying me up with your artifact, as if I were a lamb to be slaughtered? Well, after all, you are the almighty Shadow who wrought to untold havoc in Wanju. You can hardly blame a defenseless woman like myself for taking certain precautions. Don't worry, you'll get used to them. Your lies come so easily. You're by no means defenseless, and I am far from almighty. At least, not for now. I thought you'd be more cunning or savage. I wasn't expecting you to be so straightforward. Don't play games with me, Gadgets. You've been aware of my existence for some time now. You were the only person who discovered my real identity. Even before the falsehood. The head of the 7 shoes. And when do you think that was? Was it when you sneaked into the Nichisi banquet? Or when you infiltrated our mutual aid society to read forbidden books? Or on the day of Amber Street Great Panic, when you were eavesdropping on Baiji and I? Unbelievable. At that time, I hadn't yet realized that I had been born into this world to the will of Shadow. But now you're saying that before that I had already... You. Shoe of Gadgets. Ajita. Who are you? I never imagined that one day a monster would be staring at me as if I was the monstrous one. But rest assured that I'm no fairy or demon who can foretell the future. It's merely that my vision is slightly deeper and broader compared to the other beings in this world. Although, that has nothing to do with how I found about your identity. Vision. Looks like you're the type who would be more interested in the first topic. Let me... Put it like this. Beyond this island, which you know as your world, lies a vast sea. One which seems difficult to reach at the moment. The sea is both vast and boundless. The minuscule landmass Lanchi is no match for it. Moreover, there are countless other islands in this infinite sea. Are you saying there are more worlds like Lanku out there? More than you or any living being could ever imagine. However, this is still not the point, as far as my vision is concerned. Apart from the islands, there's a place with overwhelming importance in the sea. Let's call it the continent. The continent is a cornerstone of civilization, the prototype of all history and legacy, and the only beacon that deserves to be taken seriously. When she mentioned the word beacon, an almost imperceptible glimmer of longing seemed to shine in Ajita's eyes. From what the Shadow remembered, the somewhat cynical woman had never appeared like this before. Strange. You don't strike me as the type who would fantasize over some dubious statements. After a few seconds, the strange look in Ajita's eyes disappeared, and she soon returned to her normal self. I'm a rather famous merchant, you know. The goods I deal with are not limited to the common items you'll find on this island. Did you also learn about me from these aliens? So, I guess they gave me some inspiration. If I put it like this, in the world I call the continent, Anomalies once took the place that was similar to the shadow calamities. They were in fact exercising of certain authorities. According to the records, most of these anomalies evolved to possess a will of their own. But the reason behind the outcome varied. So it'd be surprising me more if you didn't exist. You are a scary woman. Well, the ability to differentiate between precious and mundane items is a must for every successful business person. Shall we get down to business then, to defeat the Huns? Oh, really? I suppose you must have a reason for capturing me in such an inspired manner. It wasn't to gloat to me about your knowledge of Lanka's astronomy and geography. Of course I have a reason. Like I said, I'm a businesswoman. The only reason I'm willing to spend time with you is to strike a deal, naturally. Strike a deal? You want to make a transaction with me? Sure. I'll just strike my goodwill. I'm willing to show you what I can offer you first. Nope.
そう急いで断らなくたっていいの。私は唯一あなたの正体を見破った人
Didn't you
間
just
だ。
say I'm the only person who discovered your real identity?
そういう人
Has
が
it
も
ever
う一
occurred to
人増
you
えた
that
ら
things would
どんな
develop
状況に
if
な
there
る
was
か考
another
えた
person
ことは
like
ないの
myself?
琥珀街大恐
Ever
慌
since
が
the
起き
Amherst
てか
Street Great Panic,
ら白球は
Baiji
激
has
しく
been
自分
consumed
を
by
責め
guilt, traveling
あ
around
の災
London
害
to
の影響を
inquire
調
about
べ
the
るために
aftermath of the calamity.
老期最初
In the beginning,
彼は暴走
he
した
only
アストラル
thought
リ
the
ングの
shadow
触媒となっ
calamities
て
were becoming more
衛
rampant
災
and
がより
untamed
凶暴化
because
し
the
て
catalyzing
対処
effects
が
of the
難しく
astral
なっただ
rings.
けだと思って
But lately, he's also
でも
started to
最
realize
近
there's more,
それだけじゃないっ
more
て
to
なん
this
となく
issue.
彼はもともと賢い人だし私のように外からの知識がな
I'm
くて
sure
も
he's
裏
starting
に
to see
隠れ
the
た
truth
真実
behind
を
appearances,
徐々に見極められる
even
ようにな
without
る
the
はずよ
outside knowledge I'm privy to.
彼があなたの存
Once he
在を
finds
知っ
out
た
about
ら
your existence,
だったらなんだ
then what? I
今
may
の
be weak
私はま
now,
だ
but
弱い彼だけで
he
あ
doesn't
な
have
た
the
たちだ
power
け
to
で
eradicate
私を
me
完
once
全
more
に
and
消
for
滅
all.
させることはでき
None
ない
of you do, even if you teamed up against me.
へえ
Oh,
自覚のある
I can
答
see
え
you're
ね
well aware of your abilities.
その通り
You're right.
見かけ
Due
7
to the
術は
way the
最初か
Venerable
ら
Seven Shoes
その
utilize that
力の
power,
使い方のせ
they'll
いで
never have a chance
あ
to
なたに勝
surpass
つ
you.
ことができ7術の
The
権能は
authorities of the Seven Shoes
ど
are
れ
all
も彼から
derived
来
from the
た
shadows. They're
巷
symbols
で
of
徐々
fear
に広がって
gathering,
る怪衆と
which
同
is
じ
gaining
ように
popularity among the
無中
people.
生優
Both are ways
今
of
日実
creating
にする
something
もの
from
な
nothing and transmuting emptiness into substance.
しかし一方
On
で
the
今
other hand,
日は
what is empty
実は
remains
実なのよ
empty. And what is
実物になった
substantial
影はい
remains
つか
substantial.
虚無に帰る
The
形で
shadows
均衡を
transformed
取り
into
戻す
substances will eventually return to the void, thus restoring balance.
商売の言葉で
To
言う
borrow a
と
phrase from the
い
business
くら
world,
取り立てから
you
逃
can
げても
take out as many
いつか
loans
は
as you
借金
want.
を
At the
返
end
す
of
こ
the
とになる
day, you still have to pay
そ
what
し
you
てその
owe.
債権者は
And in this
影の
case,
本体
you,
つま
the
り
embodiment of
あなた
shadows,
なのよ
would be the creditor.
私たちはあなたの
We've
力を
been
借
borrowing
り
your
て
strength
あ
to
なたと
fight
戦っ
against
て
you.
る
While this has
その
been
せい
a
で
temper to deprive
あ
your
なたの
authorities
使える
to
権
wield,
能がなくなっ
forcing you
て
to exist as
影
a
の怪
monster
物
of
と
the
いう
shadows.
姿でしか存在でき
Someday,
なくなったけ
you'll
ど
still have to repay that
い
debt.
つかそしてあなたは
All you
その
need
日を
to do
気
is
長
wait
に待つ
patiently
だ
for
け
the
で
day to come,
最後の
and
勝者
you'll
に
come
なれる
out
の
on
よ
top.
それがわかるなら取引をする必要はないだろう
Why, bet you want to get again? Hello, Lucina, how you doing? If you know this, what makes you think I'll agree to a deal?
簡単よ
It's simple, because
あ
you're
なたは
afraid of
白球
Baiji.
を確実に勝てるよう
Even
に
in a
見える状
situation
況
like
でも
this, where it seems
あなたは
certain
あの
you'd be the
男を
ultimate
恐れて
victor,
る
you're still terrified
彼
of
が予
that
想
man.
外の方法を
You're
思いつい
afraid
て
he might be able to come up with
あ
some
なたの不死を
unexpected trick that will deprive you of
存
your
在を完
mentality
全に抹
and
消する
erase
こ
you
とを
from this
恐れ
world
てるのよ
forever,
あの日琥珀
just
街
like how he destroyed your body
彼が
twice
二
on
度も
Amherst
あな
Street
たの
that day.
体をあそ
Oh
うそう
yes. In order to
私の
prove that
誠
I'm
実
being
さをもっ
genuine,
と証明
I
する
can
た
offer
め
you
に
another piece of
もう一
information.
つただ
The woman who called herself a business person looked down on the living thing in shadows, chilling scorn gleaming in her eyes.
白球には
But
確
she does
実
have a
に
way to eradicate
あな
you
たを
from
老
my
朽から
The woman coyly stopped there, her eyes seemingly to saying that she could intend to keep exactly how Baiji could accomplish this a secret. All she wanted was for it to know that it existed. I'm glad to hear you're doing good. Hopefully you've been having a lovely day. Hopefully you've been up to a good amount. I've really just been sat bored playing Rune Factory, so can't really complain. Eventually, Ajita kept something from the transaction. For example, she stayed silent about certain shoes' unchangeable destinies. I'm guessing that's who became Perception then. The shadow became Perception. Is it raining? If the gods are real, is this rain the tears of pity you shed for that child? Or the spits of disdain? Why do I always fail at the last step? Why can't things go as I wish? It'd be better if she never exhibited any aptitude. That way she could live a carefree life as my disciple. Fate can be a cruel mistress. So they're talking about song here. Ooh! Fingers crossed! I need to look for a friend's card collection soon as well. Because it's good normally looking through what I've got, but I think I might have some plans. It was a magical feeling. Deprived of teeth, claws, hands, feet, or a tail, this vessel should have been an inconvenient cage. But it was just what one desired, allowing the inhabitant to move freely within it. All the senses were heightened. It was even possible to exercise authorities within such an extremely confined space. And the owner of that vessel could disappear into the company's shadows at any moment. Yes! It incorporates Jim! Yeah! To be honest, I really hope there's a deck when it comes out, because I noticed the Sugar Rush characters were mainly Ruby. So Jim, Ruby, plus I'll have to see how it goes. It appears you're quite satisfied with your new body. Yeah. There we go. It became Perception. Yeah, it's not bad. So, nobody will recognize me like this? Sure. Nobody will ever be suspicious of you or pay too much attention. All you need to do is be patient and wait for the day of your victory. Let me make sure you've got this right. You want me to keep your body safe while you're searching for this continent in the sea? Is that it? Yes. And I believe there's one more thing, to be precise. When I finally decide to leave this island, don't try and stop me. And this is how she dies, right? Because in the story, Ajita is dead. That might be what it means. Don't stop her leaving, let her die so she can go to this continent. I never intend to, but Ajita? The other shoes are all racking their brains, trying to come up with a way to expel me. Meanwhile, all you're thinking about is how to escape by yourself. I wouldn't exactly call that wise. I wasn't aware you could read other people's minds. I'm worried about you. I won't stop you from leaving. Baiji and the others might not appreciate your travel plans. Baiji's known for a while, but I'll eventually leave Lanku. Oh, fingers crossed for you. Fingers crossed. I'm looking forward to local card games now. I was doing Pokemon yesterday, and me and my housemate went 1-1. Their Ogerpon versus my God of War deck. So, we have to do a rematch at some point. But I finally got to play God of War after 2 years of building it, and it's good. It's fun. Although, unfortunately, you don't use God of War as the attacker anymore. You use it as a bolster to make your Pokemon stronger. But, you get to use Screamtail, Fluttermane, Klefki, Drifloon of all Pokemon, you know. That's actually the very reason why I kept you here, to exercise my authority of gadgets, as gadgets. In many ways, it's more beneficial for them. It's alright if you don't understand it fully. You'll need to work harder on your analytical skills to understand that. After all, you're a different life form from us humans. Which means the same exact colours your buildings, so can't just take cards out of their deck. Oof. Yeah, I know that feeling. Besides, I think it's better for you to retain your differences. Whatever the case. I'll be entrusting you with what happens next. Perception, my alter ego. Oh, yeah. I know that feeling. Speaking of Did get in the top 8 on Sundays, barely missed them. Oh no! That's unfortunate, but congrats! Honestly, absolute congrats. Top 8 is nothing to, you know, nothing to sneeze at. Oh, ow. 'Tis the spot to have engineer hoist by his own petard. 'Tis most sweet when in one line two crafts directly. What? English, please. This game doesn't understand English. Hey, I understand that feeling. I only don't get lost when I'm lucky, so I know where you're coming from. The shadow cast by the will of destiny lurked in the darkness. It only had to wait patiently, and everything would be just as wished. Controller dead. I got a click. That's unusual. In the dream you had just now, who was it that killed me? About that question you asked me before, the answer lies here, Mr. Baiji. Yeah. To be honest, I would say go for what deck you're most comfortable with. Like, my Chaos deck is terrible when I used to play in Yu-Gi-Oh! But I understood how to do it and I had fun with it. So, what matters more is that you have fun with the cards you've got, more so than winning. Because, oh, if you win every day, where's the point in winning? But if you have that chance of getting maybe to a game 3, even just getting to a game 3 with someone, you know what I mean? It's like, well, I could have won. Unfortunate. It was close at least. I see. If that's the case, I suppose I didn't sufficiently trust Sajito. The controller no longer skips it, apparently. I wasn't lying, Mr. Baiji. Oh. No need to worry. Yeah. Instead, you're the only one who I can trust unconditionally, Dreamseeker. And we finally meet Shadow. Right and wrong, cause and effect, all are illusions. But I, growing power from the shadows, is also a rule. As far as rules are concerned, falsehoods can be passed off as truths. So you can also make up rules spontaneously, like one of your counterfeits. When you stop Duel, you seize the opportunity to sink your mind into the pool of shadow, attempting to regain your power. But you didn't succeed back then. As long as you dwell in a tool, you will be bound by rules. You're no different from me in the other shoes. For now, at least. You're smarter than I thought. Judging from the setup, when did you start becoming suspicious that I'm not a clone of gadgets? Over all these years, I've always struggled to find out what kind of calamity the mistake I made back then would bring to one. In the past century, it has become increasingly difficult for us to control the shadows. This can't be a coincidence. The will of shadow. It must have been born from my failure. Maybe it has only been around for a while, or perhaps it's been among us since long ago. The only problem was, I couldn't figure out where it had been hiding. So, I took advantage of Krona's special ability to craft a prophetic dream that helped confirm my hazy speculations. It appears I brought more than one calamity among this world. You've only realized this now. Your life is sad indeed. Verifying what it may meant to be with this particular prophecy. You've always been relentless about making an effort, Baiji, even when it's futile. You should know that I don't have a corporeal form. It's no use trying to bind my temporary abode.
ああ、
You're right.
確
This will
か
only
に
make things
厄
difficult.
介だ。ここは話を
Gadget's
する
hideout
と
is
ころではない。
hardly a place for conversation.
諸君、
We might want to leave
ま
first
ずは
before
器具の
discussing
術
this
の
further.
隠れ家を話
Time waits for no
差し
one.
迫っているが、
But we have to sharpen our axe before you
石
can get
橋
shot
を渡る
word.
核に関
As
して
for
は
perception, we might as
こ
well
こに
leave
置
it
いて
here.
おくと。
わかり
You're
や
just
すい
lying to
嘘だ。
yourself. Right, see if the controller's back. No, the controller has stopped completely. I'm gonna just try to do this. I completely understand though. Yeah, Ruby Amethyst. If that is the easiest one to use, it's pretty much like green, red in Magic the Gathering. It's only one of the many color combinations that you can have. But red green is referred to as one of the easiest. You go big, you go aggressive.
私にはまだ
I
話
guess you
したい
already
こと
know
が
it
ある。
already. I have
あ
something
なた
else
は
to
気
tell
づ
you.
聞いてみるか。
Do you care to listen?
まず、
First,
あなたが
I
何
don't know
を予
what you
見
have
したかはわ
foreseen,
からないが
but、like everything that
今まで
occurred,
のあなたは
I'm
私
sure
の
you
こと
don't
を深
understand
く誤
what
解している。
I'm about at all. So yeah, I think I understand. It's that kind of same premise where it's the easiest combo, so you will see a lot of it. Whereas the harder ones, you don't see as much, unless people want to challenge. As soon as the group left the hideout, which seemed seemingly demanded silence, everyone started to talk more.
夢追い人
Krona,
さ
what
っきのっ
happened?
て一体
Did
何
Aunt Perception just become the
おばさ
bad
んが
guy?
急に悪人み
I
たいな
feel
感
like a
じ
whole
になっ
bunch
た
of
よね
important stuff took place between the few
あなたが
seconds
目
you
を
shut
開
your
け
eyes
た
and
数秒
opened them
間で
again. Krona briefly explained to Senna and the others what happened in that dream. From another battle against Lantern to the total destruction of Lanku, he deliberately left out the part though where Baiji tried to kill Song.
それは
Well, setting aside the
私
part
が
where I
病
got
気にな
sick,
るチャンスが来たら
well, the time's right.
核おば
Aunt
さんは
Perception is going to kill all the
小
shoes
弱
apart
以
from
外
Song.
の術を
And
全
she's
員
also going to
殺すの
destroy Lanku?
残念ながら
Unfortunately,
核はただ
now
の
we
器
know
具ではない。
perception is something more than
そ
a
う
gadget.
確認できた
We
今、
have to face the truth.
確かに核
Which
は
is that
そんな能力を持
entirely
っていると言える。
それじゃあ
Does that mean
アジタの件
perception
も
is also
核の
responsible
仕
for
業だ
what
ってこ
happened
と
to Vegeta? That's not
その可
likely.
能性はアジタは
Vegeta is unique among the seven
7
shoes.
術の中で
In
も
light of
か
the
なり
current
特別な
developments,
存在だ。
one can only conclude she's utterly
今の
disinterested in
状
Lanku.
況では
That's all.
彼女
でも
The
あ
body
の下
among the seven shoes, she's the only one of complete disregarding her
彼女だ
mortal
けが
husk.
肉体を
Let's leave it
そ
aside
れ
for
は
now.
さておき
Whatever the case,
7
we
術は
seven
最
have
も洞
lost our
察
most
力のある
insightful
一人を
member.
失った
That much remains
その
true.
事実は変わらない
So the good thing about my one is due to using locations that give 2 lore each, be pretty aggro. Plus the fact gyms can be played in any location that is 4 or less for free when he's played. Ooh! Get it? Yeah, it does sound like that is go big, go aggressive. That kind of deck. I like that. About that. You don't need to be nervous. With Master here, we'll be able to subdue perception without breaking a sweat. Before she can do anything evil, I'm sure everything will be fine. There's nothing we can't deal with, right?
行った方がい
You're
い
talking big. But I can see the nervousness written on your
緊
face.
張っていう字が書
Do
か
I
れてる
even
ん
need
だ
to
けど
remind you of that?
も
Whatever. I might as well admit it. Of course I'm nervous.
うよく考
Just
えて
think
みて
about it.
何年
First of
も
all,
会ってな
after
かった
so
ジ
many
タお
years
ば
of
さん
not
が
seeing
倒れ
her,
て
I
そ
found
の
a
次
G2
は
lying
夢
on
追い
the
人の
ground,
気
and the next
絶
thing I know,
挙句
Krona's
の時
passed
は
out.
何が起き
Before
た
I
か
could
もわか
figure
らな
what's
いまま
going on,
目
Krona
覚め
woke
た
up,
夢
and
追い
he
人
and
は
Master
師
began
匠と
arguing
一緒に
about
格好おばさん
perception.
を敵として 急にいろ
How
い
could I
ろ
not
困り
be
すぎて
nervous
誰だって
when I've got so much stuff being hurled at me?
コラリーは多分からかってないと思うよそう
Come to think of
で
it,
もよく
it's
考
really
えたら
terrifying.
あんたたちはまだ
All you
少ししか一緒
did
に
was
いないけ
travel
ど
together. But I've been
うちは
partners
や
with
つ
her
と
for
数十年も一
decades.
緒にいて
And I've always listened to her
ことあるご
advice.
とにその意見
They
に従
don't
って
have
きたんだ
much,
よ
if they don't have much location remove, it can get pretty hard since they either try and destroy locations and leave the character just with. Yes! So what your deck seems to want to do is put multiple threats on the board that can work individually, but when together are so much better. So I completely understand. It's like having a win condition card in Magic. You put it out mainly knowing, unless you can one-turn combo into that win condition, it's just there to be like, oh, what are you gonna do, guys? What are you gonna do? You gotta kill it quick, or else I win. It's no different from having a knife hanging over your head. The mere thought of it makes me tremble. Song, you... I know you've been filled in already. There's someone deeply involved in this from the very beginning. I believe it necessary to walk you through everything that happened once again. It all began 100 years ago. When under Ajita's exhortations, I attempted to contain the 10 faces of misery within a special astral ring in hopes of putting an end to the shadow calamities. Can the astral ring really do that? Ajita called it the Zodiac Astral Ring. It is said to play a special role in so-called specialization. Alas, I wanted so badly to ascend to divinity as a mortal that I failed to see clearly what the artifact was capable of. When I attempted to integrate and capture the 10 faces, a tremendous surge of energy erupted from shadow and shattered the ring into 7 pieces. The counterfeits we possess that resemble the astral rings are products of that entity. Back then, I failed to conceive the possibility that the will of shadows would be born as a result. In other words, the high-density energy bulk evolved as something akin to a heritage? Exactly.
罹患の術層を崩壊エネルギーの一つの具現に当てはめると、白球のやり方は崩壊エネルギーを強引に集め、律者コアを生み出すことで状況をコントロールしようとした。
じゃあ地球の経験だと
残念ながら地球の経験だとそれは無知で怖いもの知らずって言葉でも表現できないような過激な行動というより老朽がここまで存在できたのは
過去の罪に関して言い逃れはしない。私は自ら罠に入り道を切り
Master, song, I. No, it's nothing. Whatever the case, by the time Cronus saw the shadow sphere above, I had already entangled all of you in the scheme. Please forgive my rashness. No need to apologize, Mr. Baiji. If what was foretold by dream was true, and the imprisoned shadow regains its freedom, then there'll be nothing left of language. Even Oxia will be shaken to its core. Yeah, Krona, Helia, Coraline, me, even the Shin in Oxia. We'll do whatever we can to help. It goes without saying, we'll never stand by and watch. Don't go around making grand promises on our behalf.
でもセナは
Zena's only
リッシャ
saying
に
this
似た
because she
存在を
knows
引
we
き
need to
続
come
き
up
調
with a
べること
solution
も
for the issue.
世界の泡の
We
未
will
来のために
investigate
考
both the
えることも
heritages as
徹
well as
底
the
的にし
future
な
of
く
the
ちゃい
mobile
けないって知
universes.
ってるから
それに老
Besides,
朽の住人であ
Song's
る
our
小
friend.
弱は俺たちと
We've
一
been
緒に
through so
行動
much.
してきた仲
She's
間
a
だし
citizen of Lanka.
見て見ぬふ
And
り
we're
なん
not
て
going
で
to
きない
abandon her.
いや
A friend of a
まさ
friend.
に苦難の
Friend
時
in
に
need is a
本
friend
当の友
indeed.
達がわかる
Krona,
って
you're
や
bringing
つ
me
だ
to
ね
tears.
夢追い人
Thank you for your help, but considering the current situation, there's no need for you to take action at the moment.
時間の10層の前に立ち
It is the unshakable duty of the shoes to eliminate the calamities facing the populace by utilizing our unique gifts based on the 10 faces of misery. Therefore, I'll be consulting with the other shoes
まず
first.
他
確かに
That makes
その
sense.
方が効率
We
的
can
だね
act together once Mr. Baji and the other
レプ
shoes
チュ
have
ーさ
come
ん
up
たち
with
が
a
対
plan.
策を考えた
Whatever
後
the
に
case,
一
we'll
緒に
give it all we
行動すれば
got.
いい
In that case,
それ
I can make you a promise.
英才を
The
永久
ceremony
に
that will
排
limit
除
the
し
shadow calamity once for
老
all,
朽
thus
と王
cleansing
家
the
を
canonical
侵食から解放する儀式
contamination. It does
そ
exist.
れ
へえ
さす
Master
が
knows what
師
he's
匠だ
saying. But it means killing her.
対策
A solution.
白球
Baiji,
さんは
we need to think
いや
of.
夢追い
What's on
人
your
何
mind, Crona?
を考えてる
You
の
still look all sorts
なん
out
か
of sorts ever
目
since you
覚め
woke
てか
up.
ら考え
Is
事ば
that
か
dream
り
you
し
had
て
still
るね
troubling you? Oh,
夢のことを
I'm
心
not really
配し
worried
てる
about the
という
dream.
よ
I'm
り
just thinking about how it
その
works.
現
そっか
Oh, sure. People used
正
to
直
say
に
that dreams
言
are
う
the
と
opposite of reality.
夢と現実は
I
真
never
逆なの
imagined
に
Master could use yours as kind of sandbox.
まさか師匠があんたの
analyzing the
夢を
situation.
核おば
This
さん
thing about perception.
考
The more I
え
think
れば
about it, the more I
考
find
える
it
ほど怖く
unsettling.
なでも安心して
You need more about
師
anything.
匠と術
With
がいる
Master and the
限
other
り
shoes around,
全てはう
all
ま
our
くいくっ
problems are
て
gonna get solved.
最
If
悪の
everything
場合
fails,
あん
you
たに
still
は
got
うちが
me.
いるし
なあ少
So
爵
you,
はいはい
I know,
ま
I
たうち
know.
を甘く見
You
る
didn't
つも
think
り
I
だ
was
ろ
strong enough.
危険を前にして
Like
も
all I
暇
said,
を見つけて
I'm
昼
the
寝
sort of
する
person
よう
who'd
な
sneak
人
in a
間だ
nap
って
while the world's
ポラリ
ending.
ーが言っただろ
So as long as you're with me,
だか
even
ら
if
う
the
ちと
apocalypse
一緒
is
なら
coming, you will
世
still
界の終わり
万事
Have luck on
順
my
調
side.
だな
You're a quick
覚
learner.
えるの
Let's see. Plus
お互い
publications
様
you're using have 7, 8 health
これ
cells.
も受け売りだよ
Oh!
ね
It seems the song's optimism has rubbed off on you.
Eh?
Huh?
あれ
Huh?
親
Shed?
切姉
Is
さ
the
んだ
thing using Oxy and Lanku
僕と
working
同
again?
級
そういうわけじゃないみたい
Maybe
薬
Baji
球
has some
側に
special trick to make
何
it
か
work.
特別な方法
確かに
That's true.
白球さんが
Imagine he was
箱
the
の元
original
の持
owner
ち
of
主
the
じゃなかっ
box.
たら
I wouldn't be able to
こ
establish
う
a
して
special
彼と特別
communication
な
with
通
him
信を
like
確
this.
立線域
Error of relocation.
私たちが
This
よく知
really
ってるこ
concept
の言
hints
葉
at
に
the specialty of
実
Oxia
は
as a
世
bubble
界の泡と
universe.
して
Although
豪華な
we have an
特殊だって
authentic
事
anchor
実は
of
含まれて
apocalypse
る
on our world
私
itself
た
is
ちには
artificial.
そして老朽は
Lunch is the complete opposite.
どういうことだ
これも
I only
私と
confirmed this
白
after
球さんが
communicating with
話した
Mr.
後に
Baji.
確当時
He
白球さ
cooperated
ん
with
は
Mr.
アジタと
Cheeto
手を
to
組ん
make
で
a forge of the
週
anchor
末のアンカ
apocalypse
ーの
and
偽
utilize
物を
the
作っ
repulsion
た
between different
そして
anchors
それ自身
to
の
push the
相互
real
排
anchor
他性を利
apocalypse
用し
outside
て
Lanku.
そうすれば
That way, the
老
forge
朽
used
にあ
by
る偽
Lanku
物は
could be
リト
manipulated
スト
by
に
the
制
toss
御されて
and fall in line with
影の
Shadow's
規則と
rule.
深く結びつくことができる
Meanwhile, the real anchor could be
そして
that
王家
create
を切り開
Oxia
いた
could
本
provide
物
a
は
final
老
layer
朽を外部から安定させるための
of the
最後の保険
outside,
になるんだ
thereby ensuring Lanku's stability.
より正
More
確に言
accurately,
うと
it's meant to
記
stash the
憶
box
と
of
時間
memories
の箱
and
を
time in a
影の
place
支配できない場所に保管した
where
ってこ
shadows
と
cannot manipulate it.
ああ
Now
そして
the
今
grim
の結果から
reality
見れば
indicates
あ
that
ら
we've
かじ
not
めそ
planned.
の手を残していなかったら
Oh, if we had not planned beforehand, we'd have died a tragic death by
私
now.
たちには
現代技術で
Chrono,
表現す
in
る
modern
と
tech speak,
あなたが
your
体
journey
験
to
し
the
たのは
sandbox
記憶
compiled
と時間
by
の
the
箱と
live
いうクラウ
data
ドに保
collected
存
by the
され
shadow
た
sphere.
永久で
Using
集
the
めた
box
リアル
as a
タイムデー
cloud
タを
and your brain as the
脳みそ
terminal.
端末向けにコンパイルした
Which is
演疫のサバンカ
pretty
理論上は同じようにデータの海
In
と
theory,
複雑な関わりを持つセナちゃ
Was
ん
there too complex ties to the sea of data, or even myself?
そう
in
いう
the terminals?
端末になる機
But
会があっ
instead,
た
I chose you.
あれ
Huh?
今
Shed mentioned
偽
the
物
task
の
to
週
control the
末
fake
のアンカ
anchor
ーはリトス
apocalypse.
トに制御され
Could
てって
this be
言
what
ったよね
happened when the pool of shadows came into
ま
being?
さか
So,
それって
Duel's ability
英単
to
が
leave
誕
life
生した時
pixel
のこと
freely is also linked to
ドニ
this.
グルが
いい推
You're
測
onto
だ
something. It's linked to the toss. It's why it can freely traverse Lanka
確か
and
に
Oxia,
ドニ
or
グルが
rather,
師匠
Master?
大丈
I'm not yet at death's door.
夫まだそこただ
However, we must make haste to reach out to the other shoes.
じゃあ
Master,
うちも
How
手
can I
伝
help?
った方がそうさ
alright, count
私
us
たち
in.
も一緒
No need.
これは
This matter
巨
pertains
万
to
の
the
や
technique
り
of
方に
falsehood.
でも
But
慌てる必要はない
each of
試
you
食
have
には
other fish to
大
fry.
事な
その通り
Precisely. We must
私たち
verify
は週末
certain
のアンカー
potentials
のとある
concerning
可能
anchor
性を確かめない
apocalypse.
と
Also,
それ
私が離れている
please keep
間
Song company while I'm away.
白球さんは
You're not
少
taking
女
Song
を
with
連れて
you?
行かないのか
That
その
won't be
必
necessary. After Perception's
核の
betrayal, she's
裏に
lost the
高
conduit to wield authority.
要かそして
On the other
一
hand,
方で
considering we need to close Lanku off permanently,
そうした方が
this would be more humane.
もっと
So could his death actually close the place off instead? Instead of hers.
それ
Farewell
は
for now, everyone.
ま
夢追い人
Corona,
今は
Are you
特に
feeling
具合
alright
が
now?
悪いと夢の中の
don't
私み
try
た
and
い
act
に
tough and end
無
up
理
getting
して
sick
病
like
気
you
になっ
did in
ちゃ
your
ったら
dream,
良くない
okay?
よ
うーん
Actually,
特にないけど
I feel good.
俺は むしろみんなの中では唯一アストラルリングを直接それに 予知や
If
占い
it's
の能
about the
力なんだ
so-called
けど、
foresight or divination ability,
この件が白球
if
さ
it
んに
could be
と
used
って
unconditionally,
どれくらい重要かを
given
考
how
え
many
る
how
と、そん
crucial
な
this
能
is
力
for
が
the
無
spy
条
sheet,
件で使えるなら、
maybe we're still stuck in another dream. and it's
今
all
の
just
俺たちは
trial
まだ
and error.
別の
夢と現実
Analyzing the dreamland and reality
こ
like
のま
this
ま
could
分
go
析
on
し
forever.
続けてもキリがない
Even
し
bringing up this
英
so-called
語
timeless
回帰も
return.
考えでもあなたが知
By
ら
giving
な
the
いう
hidden
ち
power
に
within you
そ
without
の
your
潜
say
在
so.
能力をアクティブ化
Is
する
that why Baiji triggers that sense of fear in you?
それが
恐れてる。
Fear? At that moment of doubt, Krona glanced at Song, who was nearby. Yes.
恐怖
Fear,
尊
respect,
敬
and
少
maybe
しの
even a
哀
hint
れ
of
みもあ
pity.
るみたい
Honestly,
正
even
直に
someone
言
as
う
slow
と
as Hellier could notice.
ヘリアみた
So
いな
it's
鈍
definitely
感な
not
人
just
でも
me.
気づいたくない
まあいい
Anyway,
本題
let's
に入
focus
ろ
on
う
the matter at hand.
夢追い人
Krona,
あんたはさ
we've all
っき
seen
私たち
to
に
think
夢の
that
中の出来事を
when you
話したでしょ
recounting your dreams
そ
to
の
us,
時
you hid
白
something
球さん
related
に
to
関
Mr.
するこ
Baiji.
とを隠し
Yeah,
あなた
Given
が
the
話し
future
た
you
未来を
mentioned,
考慮すれば
there might be some significant
そんな
clues
些
hidden
細
in
な
those
ことにも
details.
みんなに隠し事をするには
If
ま
you
だまだ
think you
勉
can
強し
teach
ないといけないみ
secrets
た
from
い
us, you got
だ
a
ね
lot more training to do.
それは
That's subconsciously you scanned your surroundings, checking for any other shoes nearby. When you spotted Song not far away, you gazed at her for quite a while to make sure she wasn't eavesdropping on the exchange. But you quickly realized that it might be completely futile.
まあいいか。
In like,
俺たちの考えを知りたい術がいたとしても、
they don't
老朽で
necessarily
は
need to be within
わざわざ
earshot.
目の
へえやっぱり
So it's because of something weird
彼
they
らは
did
あ
in
なた
your
の夢の
dream.
中で
変か
Weird,
な。
you say.
ああ、
Yeah, it was
確かに変だな。
definitely weird.
でも隠し事をしたのは別に
But I
彼ら
didn't
に
hold
何かを
back
知られるこ
because I
と
feared
を
when they
心
might
配してるわけじゃん。彼らは最初から知ってるからだ。
It's because they already knew,
やっ
as
ぱり
expected.
それは曖
That's
昧
pretty
すぎるんじ
vague,
ゃ
isn't
ない
it?
一体
What do
何
you
の
mean?
話
せかさないでくれ。少し
Let me
言
gather my
葉を
thoughts.
整理するか。なんて言えばいいのか。
In this dream, I witnessed a murder. Yet
夢のそれは
it was
犯
so
人も
obvious that
被
even
害
a
者も
killer and victim
了
were
承の
fully
上での
aware
こ
of
とだっ
it.
た。
了承の上
Fully aware? Wait,
ま
did
さ
you
か
dream about someone willing it?
殺されることを選ぶ人の夢を見たの
Yes, I did.
ああ、術
Exactly.
にとって
Even though
それ
I
が
can't
唯
say
一
for
の手段か
sure,
どうかはわからないけど。
say for a shoe, it's the only method. For a moment, you glanced over at Song once again. Then breezed through the dream's neglected details. Keep it concise and to the point.
待って
Wait, you mean
それ
Mr.
って
Baiji?
確かに
Yeah.
それは
It's
表に出
definitely
す
not
べ
the
き
kind
情
of
報じゃ
information
ない
to
ね
bring up in casual conversation.
でも
But this implies
つま
that
りよ
少女君
Miss
は
Song might still be on the
犠
chopping
牲者に
block.
ならざるを
通りで白
No
球さん
wonder
の陰
Art
謀を
Perception
見
was so
抜かれて
chill
も
even after Mr.
角おば
Baiji
さん
saw
は
through
少
the
しも
plot.
焦ってなかったリトストが死ん
With
だ
a
後は
toss gun,
世界
there's
を
no
再び分
ceremony
離
to
させる
reshape
儀
the
式な
world,
んて
just a
そもそも存在
pre-planned
してなかった
murder? Like,
術たちの
seriously?
切り札どうやら現
Seems
実
like
にいる
perception
核
in
は
the real world
ま
isn't
だそ
aware
の
of
切
the
り札
trump
の存
card,
在を知らないみ
which
たい
made her even more confident.
だからとにかく
Anyway,
文字通
well,
り
it's
の
not
意
a
味の
typical
タイム
time
トラ
travel
ベルじゃ
journey.
ないけど
We've become the
私
butterflies
たち
that
は
can
世
alter
界
the
を変え
world.
る
世界を変える蝶々
Hold up, Carl.
待って
Are you
コロリ
saying that there's
それっ
still
て
some way we can
私た
change
ちには
this?
まだ
それはどう
Maybe
か
not.
な
Best case
一番
scenario,
楽観的に考
after
えれば
suppressing perception beforehand,
事前
the
に
shoes
核を
might find a better
押さえつけられ
solution
れ
in
ば
Lucky's crisis.
もし
But
彼らには何もできないとしたらありふれた話
that
だ
would
け
be
ど
the most classic moral dilemma.
誰もが聞い
Like
たこ
Connor
と
just
があ
summed
る
up, an
倫
obvious
理的ジ
murder.
レンマだよ
There's no win-win choice for
さっ
us.
き夢追い人が話し
Either
たよう
us
に
or the seven shoes.
双方両
実際の状況を見ればそれこそが
This is
一
more
番可能
likely
性
our
が高い
shot
と
at
思う
success.
みんなにも分かってほしい白
You
球
need
さ
to
んも少女
understand
君も
something.
彼らはも
Where
う
it's Baiji or Song,
その前
they've
提
all been
の
living
上
with
で
this assumption
100
for
年以上も生きて
centuries.
きた
確かに
True.
親
If
切
that was an
姉さん
easy
の言う
fix,
通
it would
り
have
だ
been figured out a long time ago over
も
the
し
past
いい方
century,
法があ
right?
るとしてもし来たばかり
If
の
we knew
私た
Thomas
ち
could
が
solve it
代
all
わり
with a
に
snap
最
of
善
our
の選
fingers,
択をしたら
does it truly qualify as a
彼らが向
crisis?
き合ってたことは
If that's the case,
そもそも
then what's
危
the
機
point
とは
of
言え
their
ないん
efforts
じゃ
and
ないかな
struggles? Cold but true. Ever the Even the other optimistic one had to admit the weight of history was too suffocating.
でも、
But
つまりそれって
does it mean
夢
that
追い
if
人が
Kronos
未来を予知してたとしても、私たちは何もできないの。
there's nothing we can do about it?
もし小弱が術に殺されることが全てを解決する鍵だとしたら、今の私たちは結局彼女が計画通りに殺される。
そうとも限らないよ。さっきはあんな風に言ったけど、別にみんなに諦めてほしいわけじゃない。どうしようもないことだとしても、今はまだ。たまにあなたがバカかどうかわからないとき、あなたはいつも他人よりも早く理屈を理解できるのに、理屈通りには動こうとしない。理屈通りに行動してたら人生に何？いや、別に反対するつもりはない。
でも、そう考えると、私たちの知ってる少女って本当に自分を犠牲にするような人だっけ？その中に何か事情があったりし。
Could she be an Autobot?
どんな事情があったとしても、まだ挽回の余地があるなら、別の視点から考えると、ここに来たばかりのよそ者に指図されて、運命が決まる。
じゃあ、こんなに分かりやすいトロッコ問題を前にして、私たちに何ができるの？
あなたにとって、別にそれほど。天命のバルキリーの作戦規則から引用すると、大多数の人々の味方をすべき。もちろん、レゲントロピーで受けた教育によると、何を選んでも、私たちは当事者と同じように、その世界に副次的な悪は存在しない。一つの個体の死は、一つの世界の死を象徴する。私は算数を教えるけど、それはそうだけど、たったの一日で本当に良善の策をひらめくと。良善じゃなくても別に関係ないでしょ。この世には様々な等価交換の方法がある。私たちはただ人。あなたの言いたいことが理解。きっと老朽を捨てる可能性を考え。
それってパニック映画でよく見る人々を連れて呪われた地を。
やっぱり違う世界のフィクションだけど、ただ白州も終末のアンカーのことを何年も研究してたし、私たちに他のアドバンテージがあったりする？それはもちろんやってみなきゃわからない。
よかった。何はともあれ手も足も。
でもより大きなトラブルに直面する可能性もある。例えばそんなの別に構わないんじゃない？夢を。
それはあまり本気にしない方がいいと思う。セナ、どうなるかわからないから絶対に現実であんな風にしちゃダメだ。特急さんが治療してくれるっていう保証はないし、それは
みんなのプレッシャーを少し減らそうと思ったんだけど。大丈夫、まだ私がいるでしょ。確かにあなたは爪を隠す政治的動物だ。その表現は大げさだよ。せいぜいさて、冗談はここまでにして。コラリー、ヘリア、それとセナちゃん、可能性の検証をするために何とかして住人を一人、週末のアンカーに。あなたにはもっと重要な仕事があるの。白州さんも言ってたけど。おや、賑やかだね。何の話をしてるの？うちも特に用事はないし、暇だからあっちに行ってみない？
Song Sun query threw off Shen's planning. It was like everything discussed before, from her expression to her tone, had vanished. There wasn't a hint of ready to die in her at all. Song, sorry.
私たち3人は一度ウォーカーに戻らなきゃいけないの。親切姉さんから大事な用事で呼ばれて。急に聞こえるかもしれないけど、彼女たちに手伝ってほしい。大事な用事？
実は俺。
呼ばれてない。理由はよく知らないけど、喧嘩でもしたん？そういうわけじゃないよ。課題を終わらせなかったことに対しての。
I'm a guy right now.
ほら、親切もそう言ってるし、課題を終わらせることの。
By repeating Shen's seemingly casual remarks, Kolo dropped a hint in a way that the others couldn't quite grasp.
待ってくれ。
You guys trying to get me
ま
to...
さか。
心配しないで
Don't worry.
別に戻ってこないわけじゃない。へえ。
Okay.
それは
Better
時
watch the
間
time.
に注意
We
しない
can't
と
afford
ね
to miss the ceremony. No
安
worries.
心して
You'll see us soon enough.
絶対に前は急
Well,
げ
there's no time like the
早
present.
速出発しない
Shall they start like now?
あ
Okay. Under the tension of concealment, the departure appeared somewhat rushed.
本当に急
Looks
ぎ
like
の
it's
用
really
事みたい
urgent.
だ
They're
ね
walking much faster than
いつも
usual.
よりじゃあ
So, why don't we head off to...
Eh?
Oh, there's nothing serious. I just
そんな
heard
真面目なこと
something
じゃない
stirring
よ
on Amber Street.
琥珀街の方が騒がしいって聞いた面白いことがなかった
Even
と
if there
して
isn't,
も
now I think about it. I haven't shown you around Amber Street
うちはまだ
properly
琥珀街
yet.
をちゃんと案内してないだろ
Relate to our culture, right?
あんたの課題
Am
と
I
いうのは
mistaken?
こ
Yeah, kind of, but...
それもそうだな。
Right, those experiences
今までの出来
for...
事は俺の夢だったし、でも
But
親
shit,
切姉さんたちが俺をここに残したのを言った機会があったら
if the
少女
chance
と直
arises,
接話して
maybe
み
I
る
can
の
have
も
a
いいか
frank
もな。
chat with Song?
違う。
Wait,
そういう行動は
Suddenly
警
jumping
察
into
に
this
やっても
emotional talk
何の
might not
役
be
にも立た
helpful.
ない。
Thinking of the experiences in your dream, you decided to hold off for a while. After all, in the voluntary death scenario, the girl showed you how she preferred to spend her final moments. Forcing open someone's heart only seemed to shatter the calamities rather than achieve anything. Even if it's merely a facade.
夢追い
Grana, are
人
you concerned about something?
あんた
Oh,
してないって。
no, not at all.
実は
Actually, I'm
ちょうどここのことをもっと知りたいと
How
思
about
っ
you
てた
start
ん
by
だ。
checking out the famous 10 joys of
そうだ。
Honkai?
おや
Wow.
つ
You've got a good taste. Alright. I'll give you a grand
今日
tour.
は待ってうち老朽の銃の楽しみの話を
I gotta
し
check
た
something
か
real
な
quick. I just have to check something out real quick. Oh wow.
これは
It's
琥
been
珀街でこん
ages
な
since
光景
Amber
を
Street
見る
saw
の
this
は
kind
い
of
つぶり
hustle.
だろうあいや
Actually,
そ
ah,
も
the
そ
kid
も老朽が
vanished.
切り分けられた時
Kid
から
gone.
琥珀街でこんな大掛かりなものを見たことなんてないよ
Seen anything like this, I bet.
あれは
What's that?
夢の中より
His moves
随
are
分と動き
quicker
が速い。
here than in my dream.
へえ。老朽の住人にとって7術全員が目を覚ましたことは祝うべき大き
でもうちは一人にしか教えなかったのにどうしてこ
Ah, it
手
looks like
柄を
someone's
横
trying to
取り
take
し
the
て
credit.
ご
The
褒
cunning
美を手
scent
に
is
入れ
reaching
よ
me
うと
from
する人
miles
がいるん
away.
だ
どういう
Should
こ
we
と
go
か
ask him
聞い
what's
てみる
going
か
on?
まあ別に
Well,
口出
I'd
し
like
す
to
る
play
必要
close
は
to
な
my
いんじゃない
chest. Well, it
他の
seems like
術にとって
ludicrous
ご機嫌
flattery
取り
to
は
have
効かないだろう
shoes.
けど
It's just what I needed.
初めて会った時
I
にも言っ
told
た
you
と
when
思
we
うけ
first
ど
met that I'd like a bit of hustle
う
and
ちは
bustle.
生活あんたを連れて
Anyway,
歩き回る
I
つ
was
もりで
trying
いた
to
し
take you around.
この方が
So
もっ
it'd
と
be
賑やかだわ
better.
着
However,
替えてる時間は
it's
な
a
い
bit
け
late
ど
to change outfits.
できるだけ
Let's
バ
try
レ
not
た
to
く
draw
な
any
いから
attention to ourselves.
特
Especially
にあ
from
い
that
つは
guy.
会っただけで
Even
大
a
騒
glance
ぎに
from
なり
him
そ
could
うだし
stir up a fuss.
でも
But
ずっと同じ
being
町で
local
暮らしてた
would
し
be tough to avoid,
難しいん
right?
じゃない。
その通
True.
り
It's precisely because
難
it's
し
tough
いからこそ
that I want to give it a
や
shot.
ってみるんだ
No
言ったら
shame in
笑わ
admitting
れる
it,
かもしれ
but I
ない
used
け
to
ど
dream of fame when I was a
小
kid.
さい
You
頃
know,
は有名人
strutting
にな
around
りたかったん
town,
だ
raking in the cash, living in the high
だって
life.
でも本当に
Once I
有
actually got a
名に
taste
なっ
of
た
it,
ら
I realized I prefer places with a
やっ
bit
ぱ
more
り
hustle and
賑や
bustle.
かな場所が好きだ
Not
っ
the
て気づ
kind
いた
where
んだ
everyone's fawning over you.
Oh.
At this point, the cheerful girl took 2 steps forward and pointed at the bustling crowd.
それもうちが学んだ
That's
こ
just
と
my
なんだ
opinion anyway.
夢追い人
Look at all these people on the
こ
street
こを
growing
歩い
up.
てる人た
Do
ち
you
のこと
recognize all
は
of them?
確かに。
Right.
そういうこと
That's the thing. There's no
平
place
凡
like
な
a
日々
bustling
こ
street
そ
to
が
warm
心
your
を
heart.
癒してく
You
れ
need
る
to be here to feel it.
そういうこともあるだ
Sometimes
ろ
it's just like that. When you
名声
become
を
more
手にしたら
famous, you get cut off
平
from the
凡な
hubbub of
日々
real
を
life.
失って
じゃあ
So,
何かフォローした方がい
should I
いか
give
な。
you a mark or something? Just to
仮面
cover
を
up your
探して
face?
そんなの不
Nah,
自
that'd
然
be
すぎ
too
るよ
obvious.
Don't
安
worry.
心して。
I've learned a few
う
tricks
ち
to
も
help
伊
me
達
blend
に
in
世
from my
間を渡り
experience.
歩いてきたわ
If
け
I
じ
keep
ゃ
a
ない
low
から
profile, they won't catch on.
存在感いいなあ
Was that guy just had fire? This guy by the door just has some fire. Let's have a look. He is! He's the fire breather! Wait. Hey dude, I like your act. I really, really like your Ah!
になってもこういう
What the
ことをする人がいる
hell?
んだ腕がなまっちゃったのが残念だ
Oh!
昔だったらうちの腕前を見せてあげられたのにあ違うそんなことをしたらバレちゃうね
Yeah, doing that again would probably give you away. Oh, the knife throwing game. I still love this made outfit design, although it's very Caitlyn-like.
おかしい普段はこんなに人気じゃないのにまさか桜でも雇ったんじゃないよね
Faking a crowd? That's illegal! Doggo! Oh. I thought she was wearing the dog. I really hope
う
she
ち
was
の記
going
憶
to.
力ったら夢追い人早くこっちに来て一緒に選ぼういやー気がついたら自分が楽しん
I
で
got a little
た
carried
の
away.
に
I should
うちっ
have
てダメ
seen
だ
you
ね
first. You are the
お
guest
客
today.
さんのさ
Come on,
好
pick
きな
something
も
you
のを
like
選ん
after all.
せっかく
You came all the way to
なんだから
Lanku.
手
I
ぶ
can't
ら
let
で
you
帰
leave
らせるわけにはい
empty-handed,
か
so
な
no
い
need
よ
to be shy.
さあさあ遠慮は夢追い人
Are you sure you're
本当に
okay?
大丈夫
You looked a little lost ever since having that dream.
ごめん
Oh, sorry.
この目で老
When you
朽
see
の
the
破
whole
滅を見
destruction
た
of
から
Lanku firsthand, I
今でも
guess I'm
少
still a
し
bit
怖いの
shaken.
かも
And in situations like these, anyone would feel a bit off. From that divination, when Song felt her life was ending, she chose to take down one last stroll of Amber Street. And that situation remained stagnant. The real Song still clung to this method as her final glance. And even though you understood her feelings from that dream, upon returning to reality, you still had to pretend to be completely unaware and unable to do anything for her.
夢の中よ
But
り
at
も
least
もっと心
we
を
can
込
be
めてそば
wholeheartedly
にいて
with her,
後悔のないようにするこ
striving
とは
to
で
leave
き
no
るけど
regrets, but
そん
what's
な
the
の
point?
今の俺には
Given the
老
circumstance,
朽の運命に
I
干
don't
渉
have
す
the
る
power
能
to
力が
alter
なければ
Lanku's fate.
誰かを
or the
天
right
秤
to
の上
judge
に置く
anyone's
資格も
worth.
ないでも
But if I'm
た
just
だの
watching,
傍観
someone once had this thought about time. In fact, all time that had already been spent, with life merely reflecting an irreversible process that gradually faded away. And this bustling street mirrored the notion of this inevitable demise. I hope Shan and the
親
others can
切姉
achieve
さんたち
something
に
at least.
何そういえば
Speaking of which,
今までいろんな出
having
来
dealt
事に
with
対
one
応
Christ
してきたけど
like
よ
this
く
stuff
考
was
え
like
た
an
ら
unfamiliar
老朽は
territory
俺にとっ
to me.
てなんて言えばいいんだ
How
ろ
should I
う
describe it?
こんなに
This
賑やかな景色を
lively
見ている
scene leaves me feeling
と
somewhat
少し目が
overwhelmed.
回ってしまう
Well,
う
you
ち
still
が
have
いる
me.
だろ
Do you want anything?
今日のうちは
I'm
珍し
quite
く気
feeling
前がいいから
generous
ね
today, so don't hold back.
あ
Oh,
あ
I
わか
understand.
ったまだ師匠の
Maz's
話を
words
考
still
え
linger
て
in
る
your
んだ
mind,
よ
huh?
ね
You're
二
worried
度
that
と
we
会
won't
えな
see
いか
each
もし
other
れないっ
again.
ていう
Yeah.
そんなところかな
Maybe.
何かを選
Even
ぼ
though
うって
you
言わ
offered
れ
to
て
buy
も
me nice things,
す
I'm
ぐ
still
には
struggling
決
to
められない
decide.
うんそれもそう好きなだけ買ってあ
Sure,
げ
you
るこ
can
と
buy
もで
whatever
きる
you
けど
like, but it's a farewell gift.
選別の
Buying
贈り
too
物
many
に
things
な
might
る可
ruin
能
the
性が
charm.
ある以上
So, if
多
we
かっ
can
たら
decide
逆に
here,
特別
how
感もな
about
い
we
よね
explore together?
やっぱり小
Perhaps
尺が
you
決めて
should
く
give it
れ
a shot, Song.
君の好きな場
Exploring
所を
what
見て
you
回っ
like
た方
might
が
be a better travel
より良い
guide,
旅行ガイド
maybe
に
for a
なる
better
んじゃない
travel
か
guide, don't you think?
それはダメだ
That
ろ
won't do.
客に付
You're
き合っ
the
てもら
guest
うわけにはいかないよ
遠慮
You
はい
just
らな
said
いっ
it
て
yourself.
小
There's no
尺
need to
も
be
そう言っ
shy.
ただろ俺自身の希望なら
As for my own thoughts,
セナたちが戻ってきてから
maybe
でも
I'll
いいんじゃない
decide
か
after Senate and the others
その
return.
時にはもう考
I might have
え
made
が
up
ま
my
とまっ
mind
てる
by
かも
then.
しれないし
それでもいいけど
Sounds fine by me. Alright, let's go with that then.
じゃあとり
Let's
あえ
make
ず
the
そう
most
しよう
of
か
exploring while Master's
Sure.
still away.
きっとすぐ
He
に戻
shouldn't
る
be
こと
back
はないだ
anytime
ろう
soon,
し
so let's explore as many things as we can.
さてと次はどこに行こうかな 人生は食べる、飲む、遊ぶ、楽しむものだから、一つずつ挑戦していこうか。いや、よく考えたら少し意気込みに欠けるかな。
Sorry, son.
Ya やっぱり名機の揚げ菓子か。
Fried dough, Ming's dim
味に
sum.
関しては本当
They're
に
quite
一途だ
faithful when
な。
it comes to tech. Huh?
ドニグル
Duo?
お前たち割り込むな。
Back off! Don't cut in line! I wasn't expecting this.
お菓子を食べる
Just
だ
a
けなのに
snack.
そんなに
What's there to
驚
make
く
fuss
か。
about?
でも
Right here?
ここで
そりゃそう
What
だろ。
else? Cut the
ま
nonsense.
だ話。
セナたち？
Senna and the others.
あ、ごめん。
Sorry.
ここはうるさいからちょっと離れたところで受信するよ。
樹脂
Ah, cool.
あ
Oh,
ー
from
王家から
Oxia?
あ、
Yeah.
わかった。
Alright. I was sure you should go look around.
ちょうど
I'll stay here
あんたに
lining
適
up
当に見て
myself.
回ってもらおうかと思ってた。
すぐに戻ってくるから。
I'll be back
大丈夫
soon.
だ。
I like keeping you
小
company.
尺と。
もう遠慮しないで
You
よ。
don't have to.
早く行って。
Go do your thing.
あ、
Okay.
おーい、夢追い人。
Hey, Krona. See you. Oh,
また。
see you later. Still no takers.
7術全員
The
が目を
Shepard's just
覚まし
making
たのっ
up
て
really is a big deal
彼
for
らに
them.
とっては本当に大きな出来事なんだね。コラリ
Coraline,
比較
could
的
it be
損
that
は少ないけ
despite
ど
the smaller
実
loss
際
in
ここを故
comparison,
郷だと思って
for
いる
those
人
that
に
call
とっ
this
て
place home,
人は守れ
saving
て
people
場
but
所を
losing
失うの
land
は
is
簡単に
isn't
受け
an
入れ
easy
られない
goal to
提案だと思う。
仕方ない。
There's no other option.
ここでの
Given the
恐怖の
uniquely
特殊
nature
性を
of
考
fear
え
itself
ると、
here, we can
私
only
たちは
negotiate
捉え
based
ど
on
ころ
the
がない
hearsay
噂で
instead
交
of
渉
the
するしかない。
directly.
夢追い人？ どう
Why
し
are
て
you
ここ
here?
にいるの？
同じことを
I
聞
could
こうと思っ
ask
て
you
た。
the same thing.
なんて言えばいいかな。
It seems like there's no
夢
difference
の
from
中
the
の
dream.
状況と。
なるほど。
Oh,
少
so
女
you're
と
here
一
with
緒に
Song
あちこ
and
ち見て
just
回っ
slipped
て
away?
隙を見つけて
We'd
こっ
almost
そり
expect
こっちに
almost
来たんだ
everyone
ね。
from Lanka to be gathered here.
つまり
So,
セナたちはここで人を探してる。
yeah, but as you can see,
でも見ての通り、
no progress so
まだ
far.
何のし、それと
Also, according to
親
Shen,
切曰く、
even if relocating the
住
residents
人
is
たちを
feasible,
移す方法
the
を
data
実
researchers
現でき
do
たと
can't
しても、
rush it. They
大
have
岡
to
市民に
consider
与
the
えうる
impact
影
on
響を考
Oxy's
え
civic
ると、
ecology.
何せ影の荒
After
波
all,
の中で
ensuring Oxy's survival
王
amidst
家
the
が
shadow
どう生き残
turmoil
るとか、
and preventing the shadow
今
authority
後影の権能
further
は
infiltrating
王家を
are
侵
both
食しない
pressing
ように
issues
する方
with
法
no
とか、
immediate solution.
どっちそれに、
Also,
老
while
朽の
Lanka's
住人は
population is
そう多く
large,
ないけど、
finding a suitable area in Oxford
王
for
家
them
に
to
彼
live
らが暮らす
is
場所を作る
even
なら、
just a sports stadium.
競技場くらいの大きさで、
確かに
Indeed.
現実的な問題だらけだな。でも
However,
個人
from
的
a
な考
personal
えだけど、
perspective,
7
if
術
it
がい
wasn't
な
for
か
the
ったら
seven shoes,
いや
no.
老
If
朽
it
のみんな
wasn't
の
for
努
the
力がな
contribution
か
of
ったら
people like Lanka,
今の王家はそもそも存在してないと思う。どんなに倒しても
however, we defeat
悪魔は
them.
異
Demons
なる
will
時代に
resurface in new
異
forms
なる
in different
形で
times.
再び現れる。
Before us, there's
私た
only
ち
an
の目の
uncertain
前にあ
future,
るのは
which we'll
定
tackle
めの
when the
ない
time
未来のみ。
comes.
ユーン先生が
Professor
昔
Yuyan once said that
そんな
to
話
us.
をして
なんだかそれっ
Sounds like she
て、
was avoiding some tasks
た
back
だある
then.
仕事、
要点はそ
That's
こじゃない
not
と
the
思うよ。
focus, right?
確かに。
You're right.
あまり本題からそれない。
夢追い人、
Prana, we were
さっ
just
き
chatting
親
with
切
Shen.
ね。小弱は
Song doesn't strike us the
どう
type
見
to
ても
sacrifice herself,
自
no
分が
matter
犠
how
牲
you
に
look
なる
at
こ
it.
とでも、
But
あなた
if
が
you
あん
dreamed
な
of
未
our
来を夢で
future,
見たというこ
then
と
there
は、
must be some truth about Lanka
老
that
朽の
we've
真
yet to
相には
discover.
それって
You suggesting that
本当の
the
彼女
real
は
her might be
俺
entirely
たちが知ってる彼女と全然違うかもしれない。
話せない事情があるって可能性も否めない。 それに術が常識を超えた人たちばかりだとしても、どうして一人を殺すことで世界を救えるのか、それ自体がおかしいと思わない？
とにかくトロッコ問題の中では、あなたがどの立場にいたとしても自ら死を選ぶ人はだから、まだ時間があるうちに何か聞き出してみて。こっちは他の方法を試してみる。でも私たちのプランがどれだけか。
じゃあもし彼女の考えを、そもそも彼女の考えすらは何しろ彼女は欺瞞の術だしな。
それならこの時間を使ってちゃんと彼女に分かり。オラリー、そうだ、何か聞き出してっていうのは、もしかしたら彼女のあなた自身がどう決断するかを考える。だってもういい。そこまで細かく。オラリーってば、どうしていつもあと一歩っていう、とにかく夢追い人。まずはあなたのやり方で、たとえ縁起の悪いことはやめよう。証拠のない勘だけど、なんとなく感じるんだ。どんな彼女はやっぱり怖いと思う。
分かった。じゃあまた後で。その時お互いにいい情報があるといいんだけどな。
そうなるって願ってるよ。それもそうか。もともと運命を共にするような関係だし、うちもバカだね。じゃあね、ドリブル。
Later, duo.
ドニグルはもう行くのか？
Duo's leaving already?
まあ、
Yeah.
あいつは
He's a
う
bit
ち
of
と
a
あ
free
まり
spirit
変わらないん
just
だ。
like me. Here
気まま
one
に動
minute,
くか
gone
そ
the
れ
next.
に。
Also, apart
リ
from
ト
the
ストおじ
task,
さ
he
ん
can
の
be
こと以
pretty
外は
wishy-washy about other
素
things
直じゃ
too.
ない。ま
Alright.
あまあ、この
Enough
話
about
は置い
that.
ておいて、早く食べてみて。
Quick, try this! If it weren't for a few differences, you'd think he was still dreaming. Her expression, her gestures, even the taste of the pastry, all felt so familiar. But those memories were separate from the reality by death, or rather the end of the world.
ありがとう。
Thank you. Her earlier compliment echoed in your mind.
実は
I
俺
actually
も
love this
こういう
oily
脂っ
pastry.
こくて。
嘘。
No way!
全然
I
そう
couldn't
見えなかっ
tell.
た。だいぶ改良を
Even though it's
重ね
been
てきたけ
spruced
ど、
up a bit,
老舗のものだし、脂っこくて
so
甘い
greasy
から
and sweet.
若者にあま
It's
り
not
好かれ
exactly
て
a
ない
hit
ん
with
だ。
youngsters.
うちは昔か
I
ら
had a
をし
tough
てて、
upbringing. Grease
脂
or
っこく
sugar
て
used to be
甘いものは
expensive
めったに
things
食
for
べ
me,
られ
so
なか
I
ったから。
developed this taste.
こういう
I was
さっ
worried
き
you'd
はあん
find
な
it
風に振
distasteful.
る舞ってた。別に
Oh, I
わざと
didn't
美
mean
味し
to
くない
take
と
you
ころに
somewhere
連れてきた
with
わけじゃないよ。
bad food. It's a lunky
これも
specialty
老
after
朽ら
all.
しい食べ物
If
だ
it's
から
not your
ね。
thing, we can try somewhere
食
else.
べられないなら。
気に入ってるから
It's okay.
大丈夫。
I really like it.
でも小
Like
弱、
song.
それよりずっと気になってた。小弱はいつ
You
も
often seem nostalgic
昔の
about
暮ら
things
し
in
を
your
懐
past
か
life.
しんでるみたいだ。
And from what I've seen,
しかも
those days had little
そ
to
の
do
日
with
々
being
は
a shoot.
術とは俺の気のせいかもしれないけど、
Are you not
もしかして
really
君は
aspiring to be a shoot? It was a genuine question, tinged with cautious curiosity.
なぜか
It
いつも物語
somehow
の
reminded
登場
me
人
of
物を
those
思い出して
characters
しま
from
うんだ。
stories who have everything
地位
but
と
yearn
富
for
を手に入
simplicity.
れたのに。
はい
Hold
はい。
on. I'm
うち
not
は
like that
違
at
うよ。
all.
後のことはさて
Regardless
お
of
き、
how things turned out
100
later,
年
a
前のあの
century
頃
ago,
は
being a
術という
shoe
肩
meant
書きだけ
having
で
it
職に
all,
は困らなか
being
ったし、
renowned worldwide.
選べるなら
Who wouldn't want to
み
be a
んな
shoe if
術に
given
な
a
りたいに
chance?
決まってる。
Maybe
うちが
I
生
wrote
活
too
感の
much
話ばか
about
り
a
して
person's
たから
life for you to
誤解させたんだ
misunderstand
ね。
it. It's not contradictory.
でもそれは別に矛盾してないよ。他人の普通の暮
Seeing
らしを
others
見る
with
のは好
ordinary
きだけ
lives,
ど、
of course, I enjoyed it
も
very
し有
much.
名人やお
But
金
if
持
I
ちに
could
なれる
become
なら、
famous or wealthy, who
誰だって
wouldn't
楽に暮ら
like
し
to
たい
get
だ
better
ろ。
and better, right?
でも
But
今
now
考
it seems
えてみる
being
と
a shoe isn't about the perks, is it?
術にアストラルリングの制
Besides
限以
the
外
astral
に
ring
も
restrictions,
術という肩
being
書
a
き
shoe
は
also means
大き
bearing
な責任
significant
を意味する。
responsibilities. Speaking of which,
おう
I still don't know what
そういえばま
limitations the
だ
astral ring has
小弱
imposed
の
on
アストラ
you,
ルリング
since
に
Mr.
どん
Budgie
な
said. Before the sentence could be finished, Song interrupted.
もちろんだよ。
Of course, life's
利
never
点しか
all
ない
roses
ことなんて
without
あるわけ
thorns.
ないだろ。
Like you just asked my
あんたの
limitations
質
being
問だけど、
unable to actively use the shoe's power,
自分
so
では
it's
術の
called
力を使
deception.
えない。でもその
Well,
話
since
は
we're discussing it,
よく考えてみ
think
て。
about it.
If I was a regular person, I'd probably be 6 feet under by now. Wait,
そうと
what
は
if I'd learned a
限
few
らない
tricks
か
from
も。
Uncle Scudder?
うちもスカダーおじさんから何かを教えてもらってたら。
That would make me a granny song. Anyway, every day I live is a blessing.
うちはとっく
Doing
に
what
納
needs to
得
be
してる。
done, taking the bitter pill of being a shoe,
何年も前
it's
か
all
ら
part of the deal.
一日
For some reason, there seemed to be a hint of comfort in her tone yet. Dance to life's drumbeat, sing with glee, laugh to death's sweet melody. Even if the most profound serenity of the sage might hide deeper sadness beyond the reach of the ordinary.
さ、こ
Alright,
の話はこれ以上
enough
して
of
も
this.
面
Let's
白
eat
く
and
ない
drink our
し。
fill, then head somewhere else.
お
How about
腹
it?
お菓子はいつ
There's
でも
always time
食
for
べられる
snacks,
けど、
but some
面
fun
白いものは
is best enjoyed in the
今し
present.
かない。
Well, guys, those on YouTube, this is where I'll be finishing this first part of the second phase. So I hope you guys can understand. Thank you all so much for joining for the video. I'll see you guys very soon on another video, another game probably, if not the following week. But until then, guys, this is Chris from the Acadia Network. Logging off. Have a good one.